Hello, I am Reverend Dr. Namches. In this video, we will learn how to use templates to build up web pages. And so we quickly move over to our root folder, our Flex website. Remember, in this CSS series, we have Flex website laying out our contents with Flexbox. We have Float website where we will lay out our content with Float, and then Grid website, a website where we will lay out our contents with Grid. And now I will quickly open the root folder Flex website. So I will open the root folder, and so currently we have just index.html, just one page. And so we also have the JS, the images, and the CSS. So I'll quickly open the template.css that we are using to create our website template. So I will quickly open with Notepad. Okay, so I minimize, and I will go back to index.html, and then I also open with Notepad. Okay, so currently I now have my index.html and then my template.css. I can decide to adjust a little, and then I minimize. So I would also open the index.html. I will open with Google Chrome, which I prefer to use. And then this is where we currently are. We are able to lay out this web page, the contents of this web page. We are able to lay them out, this to the top left, this to the top right, this be below them, and then the footer. So what we simply want to achieve with templates is that we want all our web pages, we want the home to exactly be this one, and then about us page will have the same template, register page will have the same template, contact page will equally have the same template. And so, but before I will continue with the other pages like about, register, and contact, I would simply want to finalize the way this template looks like. And then I would need to add a margin left to adjust this a little, and then also shift this also a bit. And then I can simply come to, okay, this is logo. I can simply come here and do a margin left, of maybe 60px or 50px, and then I need to adjust this. This is web title, which has, let me check, web title which has 40% flex basis. So if I reduce it to 30%, and because this is aligned at the center, it will automatically shift a little bit to the right. And so I will have to adjust this to maybe just by 30%. And then I click File and Save, and then I refresh. All right. As you can see, it is now balanced to the left and balanced to the right, and then I have my nav positioned at the center. I think I have a template that is quite nice, and so I would simply want to add one more link, simply add one more link, and then I will go to my index. So I can simply copy, Control C, and then I paste. You can simply call this an open educational resources. That's OER or ER, educational resources. Uh, okay, let me just call it ER, educational resources. So I'll click File and click Save, and then I refresh. So I now have a 5-page website: home, about, register, ER, that's educational resources, and then contact. So I removed, oh, this is for library sake, I removed O to just limit it to ER, meaning educational resources. Because if I leave it at O, it means that you don't need to register for you to have access to it. But that's by the way. And so I will simply go back to my root folder, and that's my root folder. So currently I have only one template, but I should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what I will simply do is that I will have to copy the index.html into 5 places and then renew it, rename each of them. I will have to copy the index.html into 5 places. But before then, I would want to style the home to indicate. I would want to style this home with a particular color, this particular tab, because we are in the index page. So I would want to style this home nav, this home tag, or this home link, so that it will be different from the others, indicating that we are at the home page. And so for me to be able to achieve that, I would go to my home tab, and then I would simply click after the href, and then I will add an inline styling. In our HTML series, we learned how to assign inline styling. So I will simply type style equal to, and then a double quote, and then background color, maybe I should use maybe red, and see how it goes. And then I click File, and then I save. I head back to my browser. I just did it for home. I didn't do it for the others. So I quickly click File, and then I save. So you will simply notice that only home has changed to a background color of red. And I will have to close the entire notepad. And so it is time to copy or replicate this template into 5 places. So I'll simply close this and then open my root folder. Okay, that's my Flex website root folder. And then I will copy the index.html file into 4 more places. And then I can simply rename these to about. So that's now the about.html. I can simply rename these to register. That's now the register.html. I can simply rename this to educational resources, and then I can simply rename this to contact.html. All right. And so at the about, I will simply open the about. I will open it both. Remember the CSS template.css, because these are all on one page. It serves for each and every one of them. This CSS template.css styles all the 5 of them. And we'll confirm that. So let's start from about. So I will open about, open with Google Chrome, and then you will simply notice that this is about.html, but equally has welcome to Excel library databases. So I will have to change that. I will have to change this right up, and then I'll have to transfer this red color to the side to indicate that we are in about us page. So for me to achieve that, I will have to open about with Notepad, and then I will have to cut this. I will have to cut this, Ctrl X, and then paste it at about. So I will click File, Save, and then I refresh. So you can now see it is now at about tab, and then I will simply change this right up, welcome to Excel library databases. I'll simply change it. Okay, I'll change it to about, ABOUT, and then I'll click File, I save to my browser, and then I refresh. So currently we are now at about.html, and then I will close this and also close the notepad. So I will replicate the same for the next one, and the next one is register.html. So I will quickly open with Google Chrome, and then I will also open, remember this is register, I would also open with Notepad, and then I will change the red background color. I will copy it from here to register, so that it will now appear at the register tab, and then I would come to this place and change it to register here, or simply register, and then I click File and Save, head back to my browser, and then I refresh. So currently we now have the red background color now on the register tab or the register link. So we simply replicate the same thing for ER and contact. Open with Google Chrome. Now this is for ER. You can see my mouse pointer. You can see ER.html. So this is for ER. So I will have to transfer the red to this side. Okay, I'll close this, and then I'll also open ER open with Notepad, and so I will have to cut this and paste at ER, and then I will type educational resources, educational resources, and then I click file and save, and then I refresh. So this is now the red color background has now changed to the ER link, and this page is now educational resources XL library. I can simply remove databases for this particular page. I'm also a librarian, so I understand. So I will simply close and close. And finally, for the contact page, contact.html, and then I'll open with Google Chrome. So this is contact.html, contact.html. So meaning that this red background color has to come over to this place, and then this write-up has to change to contact us. And so I will open with Notepad so that I can make these necessary changes. And this is where I begin the background color styling of the link for the contact, and then I paste, and then I can go to this place and change to contact us, contact us. So I'll click file and then I save. I close this, head back to my browser, and then I refresh. So I now currently have home, about, this is contact us, and this is contact, and this is contact.html. You can see contact.html, the red background is on contact, and then this is contact us. And so the next thing I would want to do is to connect the links so that if I click on ER, it will take me to ER page. If I click on register, it will take me to register page. Oh, I would have done this before replicating the index.html, but now that I did not do it before then, I will simply have to open each of the 5 HTML documents, and so I can do that. So it will have to take a longer time, but not too much time. So this is about.html, contact.html, er.html. So I'll start from index, and then I'll open with Notepad. And now at this place, this is the page where I am. So I would simply come to this page, and then I will write about.html. So what it simply means is once you click on this link, it will take you to about.html. Very simple. So I will do the same for register.html, and then I'll do the same for er.html, and then contact.html. So I'll click file and save, and then I'll repeat the process for the other remaining 4. As you can see, I left this as hash, meaning that if you click on this link, still remain on this page. Don't go to any other page. Still remain on this page. So I'll click file, and then I'll click save. I'll close this. So I'll go to the next one, about, which is the next. Open with Notepad, and then this is now index.html. So I will leave this the way it is, and then I'll change this to register.html, and so I will also change this to er.html, and I'll change this to contact.html. So I'll click File and Save, and then I'll close. And so I'll quickly do the same for the next, which is register.html. I'll open with Notepad, and then index.html, about. You see, I would have done this before replicating but it's keyed my memory. So I'm now taking a longer time to do that. er.html. So while making use of templates, that's the essence of making use of templates. Contact.html, and then I'll click File and Save. So this is for register.html, and so that is why I left this as hash, so that whenever I click on register, whenever anyone clicks on register, it will still remain on the same page. It will not link to another page. And so I close this. I head to my er.html, open with Notepad, and then this is index.html, and this is about.html. This is register.html, and we'll leave er the way it is, and then this is contact.html. So I would simply check to make sure that my spellings are correct. I click File and Save, and then I close, and finally I open with Notepad for contact.html, and then I'll change this to index.html. I'll change this to about.html, register.html, and then er.html. Alright, I'll click File and Save, and then I begin to test my work. Then I close. So I'll open index.html. I'll right click and open with Notepad. I'll open with Google Chrome. Okay, so that's it. That's my welcome XL library databases. And so this is my home page, which is index.html, and then this is home. So I'll click about. Wow, about XL library. Oh, this has to be, this database has to go. This is just simply about XL library. So I will go to the about and open with Notepad so I can remove the databases. This is about. I'll remove the databases. I'll click File and Save. And so I refresh. So this is about XL library. And then the same for register. And then for ER, Educational Resources XL library. And then contact. contact us. Wow, that's nice. Okay, because I simply want to leave these links the way they are, I will just add links. I will just add the URL addresses. That's all. So this is index.html. Okay, I am currently in about.html. So I will come to the footer. This is my footer container, my footer container class. And this is my logo X, and this is my link X class. So I would simply put index.html, index.html, and then about.html, and then register.html, and then er.html, and contact.html. So because I am on about.html, okay, I will first of all copy this. This is how I intend to do it. I'll simply copy, and then I will save, file and save. But before I leave, this is about.html. I can simply replace this with hash. Oh, with hash. I can simply replace this with hash, and then I click file and save because we are on about.html. So I will close this. I'll go to the next contact.html. I'll open with Notepad, head to my footer section, and then I would simply replace this with this, Control V. But then I will replace contact. I will replace this with this, and then I'll click file and save. I'll close. So I'll head to er.html, open with Notepad. I'll go to my footer container section, and then in my links section, and then I'll copy this entire and paste. I already copied it and paste. Now this is er, so I'll replace this. Oh, I'll replace this with this because we are on er page. And then I'll click file and save, and then I'll close. Go to index, open with Notepad, and then I scroll to my links, my useful links, and then I've already copied, so I will simply paste. And then this is index, so I'll have to replace this with this. This is my home page, index.html. I'll click file and save, and finally I'll close. I'll go to register.html. I right click, open with Notepad, and so I'll navigate. I'll go to the useful link section, and then I'll copy this and paste. I've already copied and pasted, so I'll simply change the register.html to hash. Because I am on register.html, you can see my mouse pointer. So register has to simply, so that when you click on register, it leaves you on the same page. It doesn't go to another page. So I click file and save, and then I close. Then I head back to my browser and I refresh. And so I begin to test run what I have done. So I would want to go to ER. You can see if I click on this place, you will see right here. So I will click on ER, and then I'm already at ER page. I'll click on contact. I'm already on contact page. I'll click on about. I'm on about page. I'll click on home. I'm on home page. Here I'll click on register. I'll click on about. You can see how I keep navigating from one page to another page, whether I am using the main navigation bar or I am using the useful links. It still takes me to where I am expected to be. And so I can equally check the mobile phone view. So I'll simply restore. And so when I restore, you can see that this is my mobile phone view. Oh, the contact page extended a little. So I'll have to look for. Oh, because I added ER. So it now gave my mobile view a horizontal scroll bar, which I'll simply fix it. I'll simply fix it. And then this is my home, about, register, ER, contacts. That's nice. So I would simply go to my template.css to fix this. So this is my CSS. This is template.css. I'll open with Notepad, and then I can minimize this. I can place this side by side with this, and then this is useful links at the footer. But then remember, this is where my responsive code began. So whatever I am doing it at this point. This is my codes for 500px for my mobile phone at media max with 500px. And so I have my links. You can see my links. ULLI, I can reduce it to 80px. The width, I can reduce it to 80px and see how it goes. File and save. So I refresh. Okay, I just fixed it. So I'll click on ER and click on about, and I can click on home. So as you can see, I can try 70px just to be on the safer side. I click file and save. I refresh. So yeah, so they just came closer, and that's good enough. So it is very important to test your web pages both on a laptop view and then on a mobile phone view. It's very, very important. Now, as you can see that on my desktop view, you can see that this is well aligned to, I have a margin here and I also have something that looks like a margin. But on my mobile phone view, I don't like the way it looks. This is close to, this is just here, and then I don't like the way the margin appeared. So I will have to close up this margin on my mobile view. Now, what do I mean by my mobile view? This section. This remains the section of my mobile view. So here I will simply go to the logo X. I will simply have to go to logo X. Okay. Maybe I will start at the first. I will simply go to my okay, I will have to open it and be sure the name of the class. So this is index.html. I will open with with Notepad, and then this is my class equal to logo. Class equal to logo, so it should be dot logo. So I can minimize this. So I'll go back to my template.css and then dot logo. And then I will simply specify a margin. Remember, I gave the other one margin of around 60 px. I can't remember, but this margin left, this I have to make it smaller, maybe margin left of 10 px. So now my logo will adjust and come to this point so that it will balance with this. You can see this is around 10 px if you look at it. So this is how I want it to shift and align at this point. So I will click File and Save, and then I refresh. Right. So as you can see, while I'm viewing it on a mobile phone, it will have a margin left of 10 px, but while I am viewing it on a browser, it will have a margin. Okay, let's confirm the margin. Okay, this is for mobile phone, and then the one on top, logo, this is margin left 60 px. This is the for the desktop view. So if you scroll down, this is for the desktop view. If you scroll down, you come to the mobile phone view. So we have made the logo, we have just given it 10 px. So I click File and Save, and so I refresh. So this is 60 px. For mobile view, it is just 10 px. But then I would like you to see the power of working with templates. I would like you to see the power of working, or the magic. So this is home, about, register, ER. I am simply using one CSS, this template.css. I'm simply using this one to control the Faav of this. That's what I'm simply doing. So I would go back to the template.css, and then I would want to do something. So this is, let me just confirm, this is my index.html. I will open it, open with Notepad, and then this is h1. Welcome to Excel library. It is h1. So I'll go to my template.css. I'll look for where I styled h1. I must have styled it because I gave it green. I gave it green. So I can decide to make it red and then reduce it to 25 px, 25 px, or maybe 10 px. So I click File and Save, head back to my browser. Once I refresh, you will notice that both in this page, oh, it's already taking effect. It's already taking effect. You can see that it has turned to red and it's now very little, 10 px. It's taking effect in all of them. I want to increase it to maybe 25 px, but I still want to allow it to remain green. So I'll click File and Save, and then once I refresh, you can see it has come back to green and it has taken effect in all the pages. It has taken effect in all the pages. So I would simply want to reduce it a little bit to 20 px. I'll click File and Save, and then as I refresh, it will simply reduce to 20 px, and across all, you can see what I am achieving with this. And so whatever change I make on my header or my footer automatically affects all the pages. It automatically affects all the pages. For example, I can decide to I can decide to uh can decide to add digital classrooms and technologies limited at this footer. So I would simply go, okay, if I simply want to do that, it means that I have to go to all the pages, all these individual pages, and then I'll manually add them. So But if I had used PHP, remember we are talking about HTML and CSS. If I had used PHP to design this site, I would have done only one header and only one footer, and then I'll use PHP include to include the header and the footer in all the pages. So if I make a correction in one header or one footer, it will take effect in all the other headers and footers. But because I didn't do it like that, whatever change I want to effect in HTML, I will have to do it in individual pages. But because I have only one template.css, whatever effect I want to make will affect all the individual headers and footers. Just like when I changed the margin left, and then when I changed the margin left here, you can see that it affected all the pages. They all have margin left of 10 px, because I have only one template.css controlling the entire HTML pages. And so using this method, I will advise you to ensure that you are done with the normal text of your headers and footers before splitting them. As in, while you are still at index.html, when you had only one, and while you are still working with it, make sure the text you've already done with them before you start replicating to the other ones, before you start copying and pasting and getting all this. So make sure you have completed everything you should do in index.html template before when you get to PHP, it will now be easier for you. And this is because whatever correction you want to effect, you have to open each and every one of them. Just like when we added the links, you have to open each and every one of them to do that. But using PHP, you just do it on one file. And because that one file is included in the headers and footers of all the pages, you just do it once and it takes effect in all of them. So this is the power. This is simply HTML and CSS, and that is why you are having it this way. And so we have come to the end of this video. Then our next video we will have to maybe start working on each of the pages. For example, we can start from the register page, or simply we can start from the home page, where we can still use flexbox to lay out the contents of what we'll have on this home page. And then it requires up to 5 more classes to finish up the contents of each of these pages. So in this video, we have learned how to use one template. We used simply one template, which we have as index.html. We used it and we completed the design almost 100% on it. And then before we now multiplied it into 4 more places to have 5. And then we renamed to about.html, contact, register, and then from there we also added links. We added links so that once we click, and then we added a background color of red, and then the write-up changed so that it will indicate which page. This simply indicates that we are on contact page. And then we also tested the responsiveness to mobile phone. And then we also came to a conclusion that we have done so well in this video. So I would ask you to simply like and share. Just subscribe to this YouTube channel. Remember, I am still Reverend Doctor. Cheers. All the best. Remain blessed.